Yeah, today we are going to talk about interview skills. See, the moment we hear the word interview, it causes a lot of flutter, a lot of fear in many stomachs. It's but very common. I don't think there are many people who remain calm and unaffected by the interview. The very word interview causes some kind of inconvenience. Though you are pretty good, though you have passed through so many interviews already, but a kind of feeling comes to us that we have a formal kind of interaction with someone and it induces some kind of fear in us. But in fact, most of us are unaware of one thing, that in our daily life, in our day-to-day interaction, we pass through so many interviews. Suppose you go to railway station, you are waiting in the station, and a person who is sitting next to you, when you try to talk to him, or when he asks you, what he will ask you? Where are you from? Where are you going to? Okay. What's your name? What are you doing? And further it goes on. It's nothing but an interview only. There we don't have any kind of fear. We don't have any kind of apprehension there. We are so comfortably, answering to everything that they ask, because that fear complex does not enter us there. That's why we are very comfortable. We are able to give all the answers so freely. One more example, you go to doctor. When you go to doctor, usually what happens? He asks you so many questions. Like when you say stomach ache, when has it started? How it has started? Have you eaten anything outside? What kind of food have you eaten? Do you have stomach bloating? Or how is how are your stools? Are you able to get motion properly or not? Like many questions he'll ask. So that's nothing but an interview. There you don't have any kind of fear. So the moment you feel that only an interview for a recruitment, for an admission, for a job, for something, you deem that as a formal interview. Actually speaking, we pass through so many interviews in our daily life. If you can really carry that in your mind, this fear will disappear to you. And you should take it as a sport where, you should feel that it's a platform to exhibit your talent, or just to profess yourself, how qualified you are, how intelligent you are, how skillful you are, what is your managerial skills, how you can tackle and manage something, how you can keep up team spirit. Like all this, you have a chance to interact. So actually speaking, interview is nothing but an interaction between one and the other. There'll be an interviewer and an interview. So one-to-one, face-to-face kind of interaction will be there, wherein he is going to study so deeply your psyche. So that's why people say that interview is nothing but, interview does not mean they will just look at your only credentials. They will look at only your subject knowledge and all that. Apart from that, they will also look at your psychological status, sociological conditions, and other extra curricular or extra skills that you have. Say, for example, what kind of extra skills, like maybe they are managerial skills or technical skills or soft skills or communication skills or convincing skills, leadership qualities, conflict management, disaster management. Suppose some disaster, some unforeseen problem arises in the company or in a firm. How are you going to really tackle with that? What are the skills that you have? So they are going to see personally, and it is a chance for them to understand how deep you are, how deeply you can involve yourself. And actually speaking, this word interview has been derived from the word interview, VUE, which means a sight. So it's a sight between one and the other, wherein you are going to meet maybe a panel of interviewers. Sometimes it so happens that these days, HRs, there'll be different rounds. In each round, you will encounter only one person, one-to-one will be there. Sometimes in formal kind of interviews, let me say, generally in government job interviews like UPSC, APPSC, or SSC kind of interviews, there'll be a panel of interviewers. So in the panel of interviewers, there'll be some subject experts, there will be a psychologist, and there will be some people to observe your behavior. Like that, there'll be the director or chairman of that group, and say altogether there may be 6 to 7 people in the interview board. So the moment we see a group of people, we feel nervous, we get jitters. So the moment you get in, the way you go inside, see, actually, the confidence levels that you have must reflect in every step of yours. Right from the time you open the door, how confidently you open the door, because they have already called your name. Then why are you still hesitant to get inside? Some people, they just get inside and say that, may I come in, sir? Why? You can say, may I come in, sir? Or may I come in, sirs? Or good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sirs. So you need to be very confident. May I get in, sir? So as you just get inside, the way you walk, the way you hold your file, don't slouch too much. Don't bend too much. Be straight, be erect. The way you walk, the way you bear yourself is very important. So they will look at your body language. Body language is very important, through which you really, reflect a lot, through which you really, express yourself a lot. So that's why you need to take care of everything right from top to toe. So the moment you get in, the way you open the door, the way you walk inside, and as you just go inside, there may be a chair meant for you, and you can just say, may I take seat, sir? May I sit down? You don't have to wait for them to say that, yeah. Sometimes, they'll be just noting down. They'll be writing some names and all that. They may not observe the person coming, or they may just see how you're going to really take the initiative, whether you will break the ice or not. So that's very important. Then you have to say, good afternoon to all of you, good evening to all of you, may I take a seat? And they feel, yeah, the candidate is very confident. So first impression is the best impression, and the lasting impression. Lasting impression means that impression will continue further while asking questions to you and all that. So the candidate is very confident, very dignified. Okay. So, and after you are offered a seat, the way you sit, don't sit like this. Sit erect, like this. And look here and there confidently. And don't maintain eye contact only with a single person. See, usually some people, what they do is, they try to maintain eye contact with only person who is asking him questions. Suppose there is a group of interviewers, around 6, 7, 8 or 10 people are also there. Only one person will be asking questions. So what these people do is, they're sitting like this, and the question has come from this side, and immediately he will turn this side, and he will start, sir, what I feel is that it's wrong. That's not what you are supposed to do. Just be erect like this and just maintain eye contact with all as if you are really answering to everyone. Your answer is meant for everyone sitting there. It doesn't mean only you have to answer only for the subject expert who has asked, because they'll be observing your delivery, your presentation skills, your pronunciation, your language skills, okay, and your body language, and how confident you are with the answer. And all these things are observed by everyone. Then you will have to maintain eye contact with all. It's not only one single person. See, this is very, very bad and very wrong on the part of an interviewer only to maintain eye contact with the person who is asking. You will have to look here and there, this side and that side so freely, and you have to look at everyone and speak as if you are speaking so freely, so confidently. Let the smile spread over. Let the smile reflect on your lips and face. Be cheerful. Don't be depressed. Don't be worried, and don't look so nervous and all that. Be confident. Let them ask anything. See, it's not expected of everyone or anybody to answer everything that they ask. It's but very difficult for anybody. Suppose they ask few questions, out of which you will be answering only few. You're not expected to be knowing each and everything. It's not possible for anyone. They also know while asking. So that's why they just see how comfortable you are with the questions that they have asked. The moment they have asked something which you don't know, the way you, sir, yeah, actually what happened was, sir, this question actually, sir, yesterday only I read it, sir. I'm not able to recollect, and all these stories, cock and bull stories, don't tell them. If you are able to remember, if you are able to tell, then and there, just tell them. Otherwise, I'm afraid, or I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't know. I wish I knew the answer. I wish I knew the answer. I'm sorry, I have no idea about it. Or I'm afraid I'm not able to answer what you've asked. Be honest. They're going to look at your honesty. Though you don't know the answer, the way you respond saying very honestly and sincerely is appreciated than trying to fabricate things, trying to pretend as if you know, you don't recollect because you are nervous, you are not able to say that, and all that will be only a concoction. It's all a kind of show and drama, which may not be accepted by the interviewers. That's why it is very, very important for you just to understand how well you can answer, how best you can really answer, how comfortable you are. Because all the questions are not expected only from your subject. Apart from your subject, general questions will be there, disaster management, managerial skills, handling various other things like your anger management and stress management in a situation of a stress situation. That's why there is an interview called stress interview, in which they are going to create some kind of stress for you and see how you are going to handle the stress and be comfortable enough to answer the questions they ask in spite of the stress. So these are actually certain, things that you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, what happens is it's very, very difficult. Actually, as you understand the definition of interview, interview is nothing but a close contact between interview and interviewer, one-to-one. His feelings, his response, his smartness, his alertness, and all that he can feel. And it's a definite object of the interview, such as knowing the views and ideas. An interviewer is getting an opportunity to interact with you personally and to know your views and ideas about certain concepts, certain ideas, certain situations. They will always look at how you are going to be useful for that firm, for that organization, how well you are, how suitable you are to that particular job. Because job requirement, based on the job that you have applied, the questions will be there. and there is a face-to-face contact and primary relations between the individuals. So that's why, we have to, of course, the major objective is only to collect data from the person. Okay, of course, they beforehand they read your resume. They already know that how qualified you are, whether you are suitable, I mean, technically or not, your technical qualification, other qualifications, your previous experience, and all that is. But when they are going to interact with you, something more which doesn't reflect in the paper, that is in the resume, will be addressed there. So that is actually the primary purpose of an interview. Okay, and there are, you can say, different types of interviews that you have. Let us just see. Yeah, you can just understand how many types of interviews are there, and how to handle each and every interview, how the questions are going to be like, and all that. You have to understand the mechanism, and also, especially in the interview skills, first what you have to understand is what's an interview. Interview is nothing but a process. It's a kind of process in which the potential employee, how potential the employee that they are going to hire is assessed there in that interaction. Whether he is suitable for that prospective employment or prospective job that they are hiring. During this process, the employer hopes to decide whether the candidate being interviewed is suitable or not for the said job. So they are going to look at that. And then, first thing that you have to understand is about your previous interviews. Suppose you have already attended some previous interviews. In which, was it successful? If not, why? Then how long did it go for? What is the duration? Was it only 20 minutes or half an hour, or how much time? What impression did you make? Why you were not selected? Okay. And what questions were asked? What were your answers? How did you think you went? Are there any areas for improvement? All these things that you have to prepare yourself well before. Like what kind of interviews that you attended, how much time they asked, and what questions they asked, how many you could answer, in what areas and which areas you are weak, why you could not do well, and what were your answers, and is there any, scope for the improvement, and all that you will have to see. Then preparing for the interview. See, it is very, very important well before you have an interview. See, usually what happens whenever you apply for a job, at least a week before, you are going to get a call letter. Maybe it's a government job or a private job or an organization or a firm or a lecturer job or anything. At least 2 to 3 days before, you are going to be informed of the interview. Then what you need to do is that personal grooming, that is one aspect. The other thing is, related to your job, you have to do some research. What kind of research? You have to research about the company or the firm to which you have applied. Like, what is that organization about? How many employees are there? What kind of ambience and environment prevails there? And what is their turnover? And how, whether it's a lucrative organization or is it in losses? In case it is in losses, still you want to opt for that job, how you are going to really help that company recoup from the losses? Suppose it is already very lucrative, then why should they hire you? So you should have a definite answer. Why should they hire you? What is something special that you have? What edge you have over others? Suppose 50 people have come. Why should they hire you only out of all those 50 students, 50 candidates? What's something extra that you have? What are the extra skills and talent that you have? How you are going to exhibit that? So these are all very important. So you have to prepare yourself physically and also mentally. Mentally, yes, I'm going to attend an interview. I'm willing to attend an interview. I want to get the job. Kind of very seriousness in your attempt really makes you know many things well before. If possible, you can just, Google it. You can just open, then you can understand what that company is all about, and different mail IDs you can have, different positions, manager, assistant manager, or different positions people are there. You can just interact with them. Are they comfortable or not? What is the stress level? And what is the pay? What is the package? Okay, is the company in a lucrative position or not? Like other benefits, other incentives like medical facilities, or many other like PF, or many other facilities and benefits. So you have to research any firm or any organization that you are going to join. You need to have an idea about when was that company established, what is it meant for, and what is its current status. In case it is losses, how you help it recoup. Okay, and many other things that you have to know. So that's one. And when you are talking about yourself, you say that you have some kind of skill. Then if you just say that you have some skill, it's not enough. You will have to share. You have to illustrate the skills that you have with certain examples, like any particular skill that you have, how it has come to use in a particular situation. You have to describe a situation, or suppose you have already worked in a company or in any firm before, your extra skills, how they really helped you work better, how the company got more reputation and more returns because of your extra skills. And suppose it was in losses, or it was in trouble, then your action, how it helped recover from those losses, and the ultimate results, your achievements with illustrations. So all these things you should be able to really say. Keep everything on your fingertips. You should be very talkative. You should try to answer, just present yourself with good communication skills, and with much fluency, okay, and with convincing skills. Let there be no argument, but the way you try to convince your point with your vocabulary and with your presentation skills really brings positive results for you. So you will have to assemble all the relevant information beforehand about any kind of company or anything, or about some projects that you have already done, or any other work that you have done. Suppose you are a PhD, how your doctorate is going to really help that company, in what areas you have worked, and how it would really help them out. And these are very, very important things that you have to take care before going there. And usually what we do is we post our resume. Most of us, what we do is, coming to the resume preparation, very technically we try to copy the resume from Google. Sample resumes we take, we look at some resumes, then whatever looks so attractive, so beautiful, we'll take it. We try to incorporate our information or substitute our information and all that. We won't bother to read and reread our resume, so that certain details which are presented in our resume, we may not be knowing better. So if you are not aware of the details that you yourself have given, then it throws a very, very poor impression upon your performance. So that's why reread your resume and the job also as a refresher. And check yourself. Well, before going, you have to check yourself in the mirror. because rehearsal is very, very important. Because when you do something directly, that is different. Well, before you have to do rehearsal. Even in the rehearsal also, you can do live rehearsal. Rehearsals are of two types. Usually some people, they stand in front of the mirror, they only ask questions, they only answer, question and answer method. They see how, you are keeping your facial expressions, smiling, your facial expression, your body language, your personal grooming, and all that you are able to see in the mirror. Fine. But when you really do rehearsal with a live person, maybe you're a friend or a colleague or somebody who is already working, then, when you really do the rehearsal with that person, it gives you more positive results. And from that, what you have to do understand is you have to identify your weak areas. Suppose he says your pros or your merits, but ask him to say more of your demerits. Where are you weak? Maybe in grammar, presentation, fluency, pronunciation, body language, or appearance, or where am I weak? Or in the subject. So you will have to take care of that area. So first concentrate more on your demerit and disadvantages. If you can really mend them, if you can really take care of them, you can really do well. So doing rehearse with a real person is very, very important, because you can have a direct feedback than assumed feedback. When you look at the mirror, look into the mirror, what happens? You are the judge again. So that is one thing. And doing rehearsal well before or beforehand gives you a lot of confidence, and you will get to know the delivery technique also. You'll come to know the delivery technique also. So that's why doing rehearsal multiple times until your answers are flowing. Sometimes, first time you are not able to really open up or say it very fluently with flow. Then what you can do is you can keep rehearsing so that till you are able to tell your answer so freely, you can do that. And I told you already that you have to do a lot of researching on the company or the firm that you are going to join, and you should be able to convince them with the answer that why should they hire you out of so many candidates that have come who could probably have more talent than you. This is going to be an answer. Then you should be able to convince them with why you only should be hired. So what you know about the company, sometimes, they should be amazed, they should be surprised to know certain details about their own company which they may not be knowing. When you go so deep into it, you come to know. And then what you have to do is just access certain resources like internet, catalogs, other sources of information and all that, and to try to find out as much as possible. And speak to people, if possible, those who are working in that company. Okay, that's one important thing. And research the company using some published material. Suppose some articles have already come. Okay, some news items have come already on that company or on that particular firm. You can, of course, you can have a record of all them, and so that you are able to ask some intelligent questions to them based on that. Okay, and so these are very, very important things that you have to take care.